Hey everyone, welcome back to the course. In the last video, we improved our script with real-time UI updates and utility helpers. Now it's time to implement autosave functionality and detect when the game is quitting, so we don't lose data. Let's go. All right, so before we jump too far into things, as mentioned earlier, we will be making the application quit method and the autosave functionality method. Reason why we would want to do these things, let's say if we're doing multiple things at once, if we leave this game, we'd want to make sure that we're saving progress just in case we accidentally exit the game and stuff like that. You don't want the user losing hours of progress. We want to try and save it when we can and prevent accidental loss of saves. All right, I am in the script now, and what you're going to want to do is kind of just scroll down to the bottom of the script. And the first method that we're going to be making underneath our clear player prefs is our quit method. This is going to be the method used for the quit button in our UI. And I got a quick question before we make the quit application method. Do you guys think this is going to be a public or a private method? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to think. But if you said public, you are right, because we will need to attach this to the button game object. So our quit button right here, the reason why is because when we assign it to the onClick, if it's private, we're not going to be able to access the script on another game object. So we want it to be public here. So I'm going to hop back into that script again, and let's start making it. So we have public void quit application, parentheses, and then some curly brackets. Now, to make this compatible with not only the Unity editor, but maybe our future game, we're going to use something called a preprocessor directive. Now, if you have no idea what this is, that's 100% okay. We're not going to go too in depth, so this isn't a course for that. But if you want me to explain this more in the future, feel free to let me know and maybe I can make a video over it. But technically, just pretty much what this is preprocessor directives. They help control what code gets compiled based on the platform that the user is using. So for example, right now, we're using the Unity editor right in here. So let's create this. All you got to do is a hashtag to start off. And then it's basically the same thing as a conditional statement. So if Unity underscore editor, and that's it. You can only have that on the line. You can't have any code. And here's a quick list if you're kind of curious about the other preprocessor directives. You got Unity Editor, you got Unity Editor Linux, you got Unity Standalone Win. This is for like Windows desktops. And then you got Unity iOS, Unity Android. So these are great if you want to run certain code for certain platforms. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. And now we want to make some code for the Unity editor. So what we're going to do is Unity editor dot editor application dot is plain. The reason we want to set it to false is when we start the Unity editor, this value is going to be true. So whenever we hit the button, then this value will be false and the editor will quit. And then if we were making this for a game, we would do a hashtag else, next line, then you just do something like application.quit. Then you'd make another method and a semicolon. All right, and lastly, we just got to make a hashtag and if. This is going to be for any code that we want to run at the very end. For example, if it's a Unity editor, this is going to run. If it's going to be anything else, this is also going to run. And just to make sure that this quit application runs, we're going to do a debug.log. And inside that debug, we're just going to say something like quit button was pressed. Don't forget the semicolon at the end. And that's going to wrap up our whole quit application. This is what's going to be attached to that quit button in the future. That'll be in the next video. Let's go ahead and make that autosave functionality. It's a lot easier than you think. So this will be only accessed within inside the script. So we'll make it private. And we'll do private void on application focus. And this is actually a native Unity callback. So whenever the player is inside the Unity editor, this is going to be true. If the player exits the editor, then this will be false. And we can actually get this by doing a keyword of bool and then a parameter of, let's say, it could be anything, but let's just make it has focus. It's basically what we are assigning the value of this bool. Now that we have that, we can go inside the method here and just start typing if parentheses the opposite of has focus, because we want it to be false. For example, if the player's not in the editor, which this would be false, then we're going to do save data, just so that all the data is saved. So let's run through this one more time for repetition. This private void on application focus is being used to store a value of true or false. So if the player is in the editor, it's going to be true. If the player leaves the editor, then it's going to be false. Then we're going to save the data. So if false, save the data. We're going to call this method, and then it's going to save the data. All right, that's really all we did. We made this quit application method that we're going to be assigning to our quit button in the next video. And then we also made this on application focus so that we can easily save the data whenever this application loses focus. Now that our quit detection and autosave are in place, it's time to add all our on-click events in the UI so players can interact with them using buttons. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, or comment below your thoughts. I love to hear from you guys, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.